Though our analysts were baffled about the train pick from NIP, they justify it, converting their choice in this best of three of Survival versus ViCi. And to talk about it, I have none other than Pimp and Sean Gers. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and to talk about it, I think the conversation has to start with train. I mean, it was a CT-sided map before. Now you've got these long-range weapons. ViCi seemed very lost when they switched that T-side.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't get any rounds on their T side. They got a lot of plants, if I'm being honest. They had, I think they won the entry battle. It was like 13-10 or 14-10 or something around there. So they had a lot of success in the early parts of rounds, but they won 0 clutches this game. NIP won 3. And I even thought they were losing all the 2v2s, and you need those if you're going to take an opponent's map.
It was definitely a game that was much closer than the scoreline suggests,
okay.
I would say. Also, we did question why NIP picked Train coming into this one, and I think we got to see that on the T side. They had a very clear plan of utilizing that inner bomb side. They went there time and time again, so they must have seen a weakness in that defense from ViCi Gaming, and by that you can only give kudos to NIP. They have seen a weakness, they made a fully utilization of it, and in the end, they ended up winning a very convincing 16-7, despite it could have been closer.
Kudos definitely for Alman as well. I mean, he hasn't been the name at the tip of your tongue for ViCi. We've got Freeman, Kaze. Both of them have truly impressed Advent and his leadership and its development as well. But Alman now a big part of that conversation. 26 frags, well over 100 at ADR, closing in on 120. And I think that definitely is going to be one of my biggest takeaways from the ViCi side of things.
And that's the problem for ViCi, because yes, he's a great player, and yes, he had a great showing, but the impact he had was not enough for them to get close. They needed KC to come in with the AVP, establish some dominance, be a vital moving part for that lineup, and he wasn't able to do that with the AVP, and that was one of the biggest problems for ViCi in this one.
Yeah, I think Alman had something like 15 frags after 10 rounds. Freeman had a phenomenal game, but yeah, I agree. Kaze needed to step up, and Advent didn't really have the best game either. No,
he wasn't able to frag and lead in that instance. I think that's an interesting point, and I think it's worth raising now, is that Chad actually tweeted it out about just how powerful the AWP should have been, or expectations surrounding Kaze being the best AWP in the server. When you look at the fact that NIP really still lack that dedicated AWP, a conversation we've yet to have here in Katowice surrounding the Swedes, I think that's worth having. You know, going into the next 2 maps, NIP, of course, 1 map up, Inferno next. Does that AWPing from the Chinese give them any sort of advantage? I
mean, it becomes a little bit less significant than on a map like Train, I feel. KC has definitely been one of the best AWPers, not only on ViCi, but in the entire tournament so far, and also in the minor, I would say. He's not really been playing up to his absolute best, but when he's on, and he can definitely establish some dominance and some presence, and that's what they need. Go towards Banana, establish some presence, make sure that you can rotate 4 guys toward the other bomb side, and work off that rotation. They need him to step up, they need him to be a vital part of this ViCi lineup, otherwise they're going to lack a little bit of firepower.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. We saw him miss that early shot when he pushed the upper ramp on CT side. He wasn't really feeling it with the AWP, and then the economy was just gone. So he didn't have that many opportunities. Inferno is something we've seen him thrive on. Honestly, he's their best player on Inferno. He's had so many good performances on this map throughout, the minor system, and now the major, the challenger stage. So I would expect this map will be a lot better for Kaze.
And interestingly enough, this is ViCi's most played map across the minor and here in the major. They have played it approximately, quick maths is hard, 4 + 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. There we go. Thank you. I'm here all week. Got a B at GCSEs somehow. But yes, they played against Vitality, Cloud9, North, Renegades. It does seem to be their giant killer, the map that they can pull out of their pocket against the big dogs.
Definitely, and it's a more open map than Train is. I think it's going to be easier for them, especially on the CT side, to be more aggressive and establish more presence on the map, force NIP into some uncomfortable situations. Anyhow, that's how ViCi plays, right? They play a very aggressive style of Counter-Strike, and I think Inferno allows a little bit more aggression, so to speak, in that regard.
It does, and I really like the approach they use at Banana that I've seen throughout this challenger stage. They'll smoke in front of the logs as CT, and then as that's fading, they'll molly behind it and then smoke deeper in Banana. So they're like slow sieging as CT, taking all of Banana. And I don't really see much of a way for the Ts to combat that.
So, I mean, let's theorycraft it then. So they're doing a deep smoke towards logs, so your choice is either be in front of that and take a fight, or be behind it.
The only solution would be as they throw that molly, you're behind the smoke, you molly the top of Banana, and then you push through after.
But what you've just done there is talk about a huge investment of T-side resources.
Also, you do take a lot of damage from the nades following up with the smokes and grenades. So it's always, that's what's so fun about Inferno in general. You're always constantly going to fight for that Banana control. So whichever team that can establish that control and do it the most efficient way is also going to have a big upper hand when it comes to the other hits on the other bomb side. Because if you're able to stack 4 men towards the bigger bomb side on Inferno, you're like already by then in a position to deal with that much better than you were before.
Okay, time for you to put your money where your mouth is, guys. Where does this one go? Do we get a third is the question. What are your expectations for ViCi coming into Inferno?
I believe we're going to have an NIP starting on CT side, and that's a problem for me right now if I'm on the ViCi side, because we haven't seen anything out of their T sides. We've seen them have so much success on their CT side playing the bomb sites. Honestly, I didn't think they were that aggressive on CT. They're not playing like Tai Lu as far as aggression goes. They just have a lot of strong individual players, but I don't see them winning a lot of rounds on T side, and this could get really difficult for them.
They got 5 T rounds on Inferno versus Vitality, but I'm pretty sure that was including some mad overtime as well, so it doesn't really add up in the grand scheme of things. So that's test 1 from Sean. Pimp, what about you?
No, I definitely agree to what Sean said. I think they need a good start on the T side. They need to make sure NIP's money doesn't get out of control. Now, especially when we talk about having the AWP as a presence as well. The AWP is so strong also on Inferno, so if it gets out of hand and NIP gets to invest into that continuous round after round, then they will have problems. So a good start on the T side, make sure to keep the low economy going for NIP, and then tries to force them into some uncomfortable position. Set a present, be aggressive, and see if you can rattle them out. We did see it yesterday against Vegas Squad 1. NIP is not at the best right now, so if you want to win, you got to rattle them out.
Expose that weakness. And ViCi, I mean, if you haven't seen them play before, especially on Inferno, you're in for a treat. It is a different style of play that gets under the skin of many, especially established players used to a particular style of Counter-Strike. Yes, they're at the top echelon of Counter-Strike, but how do they handle the curveball that is ViCi Gaming? One team. Will it be ViCi eliminated here, or will NIP fall and take us to a third? Answers to those questions and more coming up with Moses and Vince.
The Chinese team have their backs against a very great wall, and they must do something very impressive, and that is have a solid offense. Something we haven't seen too much, and certainly on Train, they got blanked on their T side, and now they must start there.
They're going to have to show us more than what they have before, and the Ninjas, you better believe, have been on those demos. They've been grinding hard for this map to allow it to slip through. They're going to have this counted, you have to feel, but they also look fantastic in that first map. The first half was a little bit dodgy, but as soon as they got on their CT side, they looked awesome.
The teamwork and the cohesion of NIP on that first map was very impressive, and this, a designed flashbang, get right, goes to clear with the CZ. Nothing to see in Banana. Immediately rotating back, they've left a player at car. That's going to be Rez, one of their best performers on Train. I think actually he ended up as their best performer on Train. One player for ViCi watching this flank as the rest of his team takes bracket control. Plenty of NIP defenders ready to swing and peek on this side as soon as Dennis sees something, and they're going to get the action. There's a nade out. That's perfect. That's so much damage. Oh, they've been chucked down. That's beautiful from Get Right, but it's a B-split.
The tactical nuke certainly landed there, but now Rez has got to get his skates on, get back to the site. It could be for naught if they can just pile onto this and get the bomb planted soon. Rez just holding. Trying to stay alive as long as he possibly can. If he can take down a player with him, all the better for it, but he has fallen. So that early damage is somewhat negated as the bomb has now been planted. Get Right, though, with a CZ is always going to be a nuisance, always going to be a menace. And he's posted up in garden alongside Dennis. Lecro and Forest sitting back at CT side. They're not going to push just yet. There's Zoking with another one. If NIP lose this round after all the advantages they had, it is going to be a brutal body blow and the perfect way for ViCi to start off their map. And it's going to be Kaze going in for seconds. Forest had 3 kills in the first pistol. Back on Train, and now he's going to have to go on better and try and get that bomb defused, and there's not going to be enough time. He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and it's going to be Omen that gets ViCi across the finish line. They get the first pistol on Inferno.
That's massive in the context of this series. A good start on their T side of Inferno would be huge. One of the best ways to do that is to be able to just keep the money low for NIP, and that first buy for the Ninjas is going to be a bit rough. Actually, I say that, but they're going to buy right now. They're going to go into it with Deagles and utility. Rez decides to get aggressive instead of holding out towards Ruins, out towards Construction, and just waiting for his teammates to come in. He felt like he could grab at least one before falling back and make that retake a little bit easier, and it backfires on him. Lecro with the Deagle.
4 Deagles in total alongside the UMP. So firepower certainly is not an issue. But a utility as well. So ViCi going to have to be careful in this round. It's definitely not a gimme.
The question is, how long can NIP hold their nerve? How long can they go without using one of these smokes? And Get Right looks like he just wants to put one out immediately, as waiting for some indication that flashbang was it. That was the worrying sign. Not enough smokes in the Ninja's hands to delay the hit all the way down to the end of the round.
Get Right's B partner of Rez also has a smoke, however, so he can choke off and stall a little bit longer, and he's just thrown it out now.
That's also why they're rotating Forest over there. He's got another smoke, so they want to make sure that B is properly smoked up and they can stack the A bomb site if Forest can get back quick enough after tossing his. But they're going to miss that opportunity as ViCi's lining up right now for the hit. Into pit we go. Dennis with the UMP's got to do some work, can do nothing. Great openings from Advent. 2 headshots in the pit. Kaze is going to respond as well.
It's going to be a save. Rez and Forest, no chance, no hope, and they still have something to play with in the next round if they can save these 2 deagles. Flashbang and a defuse kit, decent amount of equipment value, you don't want to throw that away. But ViCi will move to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's a big conversion. And you can see as well on the map, they want to hunt these deagles down. They don't want NIP to have anything useful in the next round. That's pretty interesting. This could be costly for them. Easier to manage on the T side. That missed shot from Rez and Forest, although they are getting some damage, done some tagging, but now close up, the SMGs can go to work. Rez has 1, but surely he doesn't get out of this. 3 players around him. Good shot there. Can't convert. Advent's going to end with a triple kill. Jumping around the corner, and it's 2-0 for ViCi.
Yeah, a couple losses, definitely sustainable for ViCi, and they're glad to just get those deagles away. No kit, no flash either. I don't think we're going to see a huge amount invested into this round. At least I hope we don't from the Ninjas.
No, they're not going to invest anything. Maybe some P250s. You can see a Zeus there on Dennis, CZ. Just a small amount of things that can cause some damage, but nothing that can really be relied upon to turn the round in their favor. It's a great nade on the Forest as well.
They've done that nade a couple of times now. I wonder if Nip are going to stop peeking so early on. Freeman. A free kill on Rez. Gonna draw out Lekro onto the rotation. Try and help Get Right out as much as he possibly can. USP is doing significant damage behind the fountain. Get Right is being a real pain in the backside.
He got the follow-up dink. P250 might have been able to go to town. Regardless, you have to like the aggression, the confidence from ViCi, knowing in this round after they took the deagles and armor away in the previous, that there's nothing that NIP really have that can stop them from marching right into that B bomb site. Just 1 player falls, not a huge deal. So it'll be 3-0 for ViCi before the NIP gets the rifles out. Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're rooting for the Chinese team.
Absolutely, and keep in mind, if you've just joined us, Nip won their choice of train, and the fact of the matter is, the winner proceeds to the next stage of the major, the group stage, and the loser goes home. So everything on the line. I think for ViCi, look, they're the heavy underdogs. They were coming into this tournament.
Yeah.
If they lose this, people are still going to say you had a great event. You turned a lot of heads. You showed what you're capable of doing. If Nip lose this, there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of speculation.
If Nip get eliminated here, that would be a problem. They wouldn't want to load Twitter for a while.
Which may factor into some of the anxiety that we saw in the pre-match interview. One of the players have had a bit of stress coming into this game.
A lot of talk about this, the seeding system, the ELO system, and everything like that. Listen to this route that ViCi had to play. If you even go back to the minor, North, Vitality, Cloud9, NRG, Fnatic, and Nip are all their opponents. That is a tough route to take for such an inexperienced underdog team.
That is fully legit. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and when you listen to those names, it's pretty admirable how far they've been able to go. Oh, Advent gets caught out in the open just as that smoke clears. He didn't have the timing to get there safely, but man, they're crazy. Freeman jumps right through that smoke as well. Molotov gonna force him forward. Off angle to try and prevent the cross back to the site. There's the jump, but Rez in the position. He's waiting for a follow-up peek. No need to take a risk, though. They already have a man advantage.
Rez gonna boost, get right up. Just to watch the close angle while he pulls back to new box. See from the flyover that the crossfire has been established. That one good way of countering these positions, of course, would be a Molotov, would force Get Right out of position. They do have one remaining in the hands of Freeman. But to be fair, there's a lot of spots that you want to throw Molotovs onto when you aggress on B. It's not necessarily going to go where Get Right currently is. They could go to new boxes, could go to second boxes. Or even the fountain. So choose wisely. Freeman's going to go out without any grenades, though, to precede him. Finds the entry, nearly gets the double, but Rez is already doubled up, nearly triple. He actually dinks Orman down to 1 HP. Very unfortunate not to get the outright frag. Nicely tried, at least.
This is doable with the op, though. I don't think it's been spotted yet. Actually, yes, he's fired 2 shots. They know the op is there. That's why you see the safety turn in this corner. The flashbang doesn't blind the opper at all. That's a great kill. The flank has a big job to do. Here comes Lekro, he's dropped, and it's all on Dennis, he can do nothing. Kaze reigns supreme at distance. And ViCi have their 4th, they win the first gun round, and now this is looking good for the Chinese side.
I was a bit puzzled as to why Lekro didn't check construction there. He just ran straight past it, not checking any of the angles, but maybe he felt compelled and pressured to try and shut Kaze down at the back of the site. Take nothing away from ViCi. A phenomenal take in the end, and Rez was heroic. It wasn't quite enough to stave off the Asian team.
It's a huge kill for Freeman as well, jumping up on those first orange boxes to eliminate Get Right. That was a massive play. The entry they needed. Ooh, Lekro wanted to go back for more after the dink, and he stuck around just too long. Not even sure he would have been able to get away, and ViCi on point looking for the aggression from NIP. They found themselves 2 kills early in this round. Slapped aside some of the danger. NIP's on the back foot in this one. In this map so far.
Has to be spine chilling. You're on your CT side, ViCi already up 5-0. You've had some very solid, healthy buys. And you've pretty much just been bulldozed. Had a couple of opportunities, but not really converted them. So for all of the confidence and the aggression that we saw on train, it has been somewhat nullified at this stage. Get Right with a CZ has already expended a couple of the bullets, only 10 remaining in the magazine. And he's going to go for the reload as Rez tries to batten down the hatch. That's a solid 1D, looking for a second one, not able to connect it, and that's the round by and large done, barring a miraculous Forest clutch. He hasn't been tagged just yet, and both players are pretty low. This is actually in the realms of possibility. It's just got a whole lot more likely as Forest is playing ring around the rosy on the site, but ZoKing is able to finally thread the headshot, and ViCi will continue their unbeaten run.
What a legend. Forrest, I cannot believe he even made that into a doable situation from back in the bomb site, pinned down as well. 2 players know exactly where he is. A lot of credit goes to Rez as well. Huge kills as they come up lane. Some beautiful deagle shots. You could see just the danger of those things in the hands of those players. They can turn around quickly. Rez, 166 ADR, you can see. That's pretty wild.
Still losing, of course. Now Omen's like, you know how I feel, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say. Shoes on the other foot. Here we go. Fast take a banana, and ViCi's got control even with 3 players here, but Get Right wants to battle for it, and he's going to get 2 quick headshots. Half HP. Almost looks like he wants to go for more. The other legend of NIP puts them in a good position. Now they have 3 players still at the B bomb site. Lekro's going to start rotating back towards A, as is Get Right. But for the moment, Dennis and Forrest have to hold on, and they have utility to delay in these choke points.
ViCi have aggressed previously without throwing smokes or flashbangs. I'm curious if that will catch Nip off guard. Maybe one of the only keys to success. That's another one, though. Lekro has been plucked out. Dennis now is going to have to go huge with his AUG, and it's going to be onto Freeman. Alongside Advent in the end, Forrest and Dennis both chip in for kills in the first round for Nip. Breaking the curse of the 5 rounds that ViCi picked up.
Yeah, but that's not a bad situation so much for ViCi. Because you want NIP to be able to win a round here and there so that you can just respond immediately afterwards. Now, they won that round so convincingly, they have money to buy up behind this, but if you're ViCi, you're thinking, this is our opportunity to just win this half convincingly, is beat them here, low buy in the next round. If you win that, they're completely shattered in their economy, and all of a sudden you can really build up this lead. A lot of ifs there, but the door just being cracked open, that opportunity just being barely presented is important for ViCi.
And And Nip must know it. ViCi gonna put a lot of emphasis on this round, as you'd expect. Timeout. Deliberate over what's about to come up. What's the master plan? Forest deep in thought. Ninjas in pajamas. Off to a bit of a horror of a CT start. Lecro's having a bit of a rough game. He was pretty solid on train. Currently 0 kills and 23 ADR. Meanwhile, Rez is still fragging out alongside GetRight. He's on 106 ADR. And a lot of emphasis shown on Banana. 3 Molotovs, 3 smokes. Depleting that utility belt very quickly.
Oh, GetRight, this is risky. Completely blind at the moment inside the smoke. How is he going to play this? Going to re-smoke things? Oh, one missed timing from him and he could have gone down. That's a good start. Almost even spams Freeman through it. Does a little bit of chip damage onto him with that AUG. But GetRight 2 rounds in a row has resoundingly won the fight for Banana. And now NIP going to get aggressive. They know they forced them away. Now they want to crunch. This is a dangerous angle for Lecro. So close up, flashbang in, and didn't even look for the close player. Dennis gets him, thankfully, and now Boiler is the next point of aggression, and he's been spotted as well. NIP responding pretty much perfectly this whole time.
The bomb drop's absolutely brutal, though, for ViCi. They have to push through into this crossfire, into no man's land, just to retrieve the objective. And Kaze, the last man standing. To be honest, with their economy, probably just saves the AWP, gives them something to play with in round 8. Not many other options.
Well, there's that window of opportunity slammed shut by NIP. Well done from the Swedes. GetRight again with another double kill in a pretty important round. And yeah, this is the only option available. Save the AWP. The question is, what are you going to get around it? They don't have a lot of the losing bonus built up. It's going to be 2-round losing bonus. Perez can find this off. Important shot here for Kaze, and he nails it. He drills it. He gets to save the weapon. No bonus money for him, though. Which will hurt a little bit, because as you can see, right around 2K for the majority of his teammates. That would be a risky force-up if they wanted to go for Deagle armor, if they wanted to go for pistol armor with utility. I'm not sure that you can actually do that. And even more, you can't even fight for banana control with only the one AWP. You gotta hope he's gonna find a pick, but that's gonna be difficult in and of itself with all the smokes laid down in banana, all the Molotovs, smokes in that mid choke point as well. Gotta get hyper aggressive, and there's the flames to hold him back. Misses the shot, down to 70. Even Alman eating a nade.
And now the initial wave of aggression has been blockaded. The ninjas move in. They will assume banana control. 3 players over here, don't need to have all 3, so that's why Lecro is piecing out, gonna move back to A site.
Pretty interesting that he passes the op over to Rez, though, instead of just staying himself. But as you mentioned, Untrained, pretty versatile team at Ninjas. We see a lot of their different players pick up the AWP. They can at least have this early warning system. There's the flashbang out. He's got a Molotov to slow them. They might go through it, but no, that's too much. And right through the half wall. Advent goes down.
Molotov to keep them at bay, up to smash them through the wall. And with 3 Glocks alongside the aforementioned AWP, so much of this round rests on Kaze's shoulders. 40 seconds left, smoke's now being deployed off both teams. Rez able to mitigate the smoke on coffins pretty easily. Needs to be careful they don't boost up, though. That's what Zoking is looking for.
This is a pretty bold positioning for Rez, as they can jump up those boxes, and just as he disappears, he finds it. Nice flick.
Should be a complete massacre at this stage. 15 seconds. They have the AWP again, so maybe just another save.
Yeah.
Go away, see if you can save it.
It makes sense as well, because he can drop the AWP over. He'll get traded for an AK-47. They'll both be able to have armor and utility, unless NIP is able to hunt him down, but I don't think they're going to get here in time. And obviously also wanting to preserve their money, so nice fast decision from Freeman to just back away. I say that, but Kaze, because he saved the weapon in the previous round, only had 2,500, so he can actually only drop a UMP over to a teammate. So someone's getting the short end of the stick.
I think it was Orman. I think he's just been shafted there, mate.
They said, thanks for working so hard on train. Have this UMP.
We know you were the top fragger of the entire game. Now, get the simple treatment. Get the UMP.
5-3 in the favor of ViCi, but it's been 3 in a row for NIP as they come back into this.
Nade's just a bit shallow. Going on to logs. No one's there. ViCi instead were waiting for the grenades to explode so they could start to make a move up themselves. So this map so far has really been so heavily contested in Banana.
Which we see frequently, but look at all the utility that NIP used. They don't have much, and Get Right, he's not going to spam. He wants to go for logs. Oh, and he's got it. Does he stay aggressive? He's got spam from his teammate to force Advent back. That is nice from the Ninjas. Again, banana control. Heavily fought for by both teams, but NIP has now won it 3 in a row.
And pretty comfortably at that, whether it be Get Right getting a kill or a bunch of nade damage. Dennis can hear footsteps to his right-hand side. The call will come through. Rez is starting to make a move. Decides better of it. Because with this much time, ViCi could still pull back and try and push Banana.
Huge kill for Kaze. If he can get it, he's completely blinded, though, and that makes Zoking go down easy. Good flashbang. Nice, aggressive play for NIP. Dennis close up has the information. Allman jumping out. Has missed the timing on that as well. They're so low on HP, so low on time left in this round. And they're really struggling when NIP hasn't given them any picks to work with. They're struggling to find opening kills in these 5-on-5s. It might be time for them to pick around and just not even attempt for banana control because they're losing it so convincingly recently. Maybe try and take advantage of the fact that NIP is sending 3 players there at the beginning of every round. Try and go towards A where you have a 5-on-2 early on. 113 ADR for Get Right, 124 for Rez.
Here's Forrest cleaning up onto short side. Yeah, I completely agree. I think ViCi do need to change pace, need to do something differently. Now they only have pistols. Maybe this is the moment where they at least attempt it. Have 3 smokes to play with, a few flashbangs. The bulk of the aggression is coming up second mid. So Banana's not really going to be contested this time.
Which is fine. They just need to do it in a gun round. I mean, you can see how much utility NIP is using at the start of these rounds, and, you know, if no one's actually contesting Banana, essentially just wasting it. They've gone a little bit slow, worried about that smoke in mid, which has allowed a third player in Lekro to get over. That's another great nade. Utility damage for a NIP in this game so far has been off the charts. Rap side is where ViCi want to head. It's also where NIP want to head for defense.
Get Right has been flashed out of position, going to get charged down, but elsewhere the Swedes are pretty much taking control of the round. Forrest spray onto one, and a second bomb's been dropped. Round over.
That was nice, though. That at least showed some promise. Able to get some damage done. Remember, there were 3 players from NIP guarding Rap side, so the fact they're able to get 2 kills out of it is pretty nice. So much money for NIP has been built up, though. They didn't take a whole lot of losses in some of those round wins. Get Right and Forrest are sitting at about 13K each before Get Right bought.
Solid comeback as well. ViCi off to a 5-0 lead. Early on, it was starting to look a bit rough for NIP. Like, this could get out of control. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. Haven't really contested Banana this time in a rifle round. Let's see if it works out for them, though.
They need to beat that timing of the rotation. At the moment, they still have it. The Molotov clears. Smoke comes down, though. The question is, are they bold enough to go through it?
The answer seems to be a no, but now Flashbang's going to start to detonate as Forrest eradicates 2. Double headshot, make it a 3rd. Tripling up. Meanwhile, Get Right's pushing down Banana. ViCi have been caught in a NIP sandwich. And they are going to be destroyed. There is no 2 ways about this. Freeman and Kaze living on borrowed time. As soon as that smoke clears, Kaze's in a world of hurt.
We'll go for the ace for us. Get aggressive. There's 1, there's 4, there's 5, and it's beautiful. Precision, all 5 kills, tapping away. Another ace for IEM Katowice. I feel like this has got to be the... there's been so many aces, I feel, in this event so far.
Yeah, we've had a bunch. It's the first that I can remember from Forrest, at least. But what a time to land this as well. 5-5, so much on the line. super huge injection of confidence too into Nip when one of your veterans is performing like that.
It's the way that like that fifth kill to complete the ace is just like the exclamation point. It's just a one tap. This time they're gonna run right through it. Had a Molotov ready for, or a smoke ready for the NIP Molotov, and even that doesn't work.
Back to mid they'll move, but that's into the hands of Dennis. I say that, but they've cut those hands well and truly off. They're looking to punish the rest of the ninjas in the process. Forrest has to relocate. And of course, it's headshots delivered all day from Forrest. Orman should be able to get a bomb plant at the very least. Not bad considering the lack of investment that ViCi had coming into this round. Does also have an AK with some Kevlar. Maybe this can be a miraculous play now from ViCi. They're going to turn this back around, but no. Get Right holds the line.
Why is Forrest so good? Handling that situation pretty well. 2 kills for him, 2 for Get Right. Get Right's now up to 10 kills. 3 kills in a bomb plant, though. ViCi's going to be happy with that one. I mean, they just can't find any opening kills is the real issue. Over towards Banana, this time they had all the counters ready, smoke ready for the Molotov. Able to get through it and actually pressure towards top Banana, but some great shots from NIP giving the first 2 kills.
Why is Forrest so good? Probably a question many of his opponents have been asking themselves over the last decade plus, as he's been rattling their heads.
I played against him back in the day, back in 2003. Ripped my head off a number of times. It's good fun. Here we go. Lekro with the op, peeks in front of the smoke. Pre-thrown to stop the Molotov.
It does seem like ViCi don't really have a plan B now, though. Now that Banana's just not worked, they've tried going A.
Yeah.
It's a bit of indecision, bit of stalling in mid.
I mean, someone's going to have to step up and just get an entry kill. No matter what strategy they've tried to run, they haven't gotten an entry kill, it feels like, since like round 5, the last round they won. The nice thing about the fact that they were so successful and went on that 5-0 run to start this map is that, you know, sometimes 5 rounds can be enough on your T side. So, yeah, this would be a disaster if they can't add anything onto it in the last 10 rounds of the half. But they can still work with it, at the very least.
I think momentum-wise, though, it will definitely be a kick in the backside because of the 5-0 lead they had. Could have been something truly special.
They just need to win one more round to like break up this win streak of NIP. It never feels good if they lose 10 in a row. That's going to feel absolutely awful. Get Right's going to play right behind this smoke. Flashbangs would go past him, and he's got an easy first, an easy second, and an easy third.
That's so sick. Just so unbelievably sick. To have the balls to pull off that play and read that. He's been there so many times. That's where the experience really shines through from Get Right. And in doing so, this round is pretty much laid to rest. Unless Freeman can continue his aggression, they may get a chance to get to the bomb site here. And Kaze does actually have it in his hand, so this plant's going to go down. Somehow from that 3K, this is now a 2-on-2 retake.
Yeah, it's a mistake by Lekro, feeling well overconfident. Going for that second peak with time so low, just had to play passive, and the fact they've given an op over as well. Smoking that choke point actually helps Nip close the gap, and Forrest gonna go for a heads-up duel with that AK. He's dropped by Freeman close up. That would have been a big kill to have. No utility for Dennis. Looking for this one frag on the Alper, who's just trying to distract. Kazai's playing it well. No peek, and a double kill for Dennis. NIP continue to reign supreme, and the Chinese have completely stalled out.
I think Get Right just breathed a huge sigh of relief. Like, guys, how have I got a 3K? We nearly lost that round.
He's like, thank you, Dennis, for my RWS.
Meanwhile, ViCi will be devastated because that was a real chance, a real glimmer of hope to get back in this half, to start to get some rounds put together. And Dennis has had a bit of a quiet tournament, I think it's safe to say. That's one of the best plays we've seen him pull off.
I don't know if struggle is the right word, but it does feel like he's been subdued since he joined this NIP lineup. There was a lot of excitement. He was so good when he was in Fnatic, and something on this NIP team doesn't seem to be playing comfortable. Well, there we go. If there's ever a time for ViCi to break this 8-round streak for NIP, it's when they're able to get the opening pick with that ult. They must convert this. They have not had these chances too often. And Alman's gonna build onto Force. Now he's in pit. Lekro, no idea quite yet. Immediate dink. That'll make him passive. The nade should finish him off. A peek from the AK. There it is, but they're already up lane. Kaze has the angle. Oh, that's the bomb. Oh, Vince, this could turn, but Get Right's not ready for the peek from balcony. There it is. Kaze, it's the op, though. He must get this kill. There we go through the smoke. Just barely, ViCi.
So fortunate they had so much time left. If that was sort of 20, 30 seconds left, I think the round was done. Get Right nearly, once again, coming out massive with a clutch play. Instead, though, going through into the final round of the half, it's 8-6. It doesn't feel like it should be 8-6 because of how dominant NiP have been in this second quarter of the game. But ViCi have actually had a pretty decent tee-off overall.
You can't argue with it. As I said, 6 is going to be... 6 is very doable. And obviously the big thing is, no matter how many rounds you get, if you lose 10 rounds in a row, you're just going to feel like you lost the half. Even though 5 would be good, but... Here we go, ViCi trying to add on to it, and they're going to beat this rotation on Rap side as well. Almond's there to cut it off, but Lekro's already gotten past.
Made noise with a Molotov, but he's nearly able to double up with his arch play. Forest, last beacon of hope, last line of defense. He has been so many times in the past, but some dink damage was done from Kaze on his way out. Another 2-on-2 retake. We've had so many of these in the best of 3 already. Most of them have gone the way of NiP, and this one may as well. Rez comes out, spraying, but Get Right is going to be bested in the end. The last kill of the half will go the way of ViCi, as will the last round.
A very nice T-half from ViCi Gaming. For the Ninjas, it's the 2 legends who have stepped up. 17 kills for Force, 15 for Get Right. They'll have to continue that in the second half if they want a chance of beating ViCi 2-0. Stay with us.
On my own, when you spill that rum and coke on my t-shirt, yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something.
Despite a solid defense for NIP through the stretch, ViCi does just enough. Starts out with a 5-0 run, gets the last 2 rounds of the half. but it was an 8-0 run for the Ninjas on their CT side that keeps them in contention. And despite that dominance for such a large part of the first half, you have to feel like ViCi, they've done more than enough on that T side.
Maybe even arguably slightly ahead, considering that NiP are now going through to the T side. And this is a side that ViCi typically are pretty damn solid on. So you've got to wonder what's going to happen. This pistol's hugely important.
Yeah, but you know what can change all that is the fact that Forrest looks like he's on fire. 17-8 in the first half for Forrest, 15-9 for Get Right.
You see there a stat, 17 kills, 8 deaths, 106 ADR. Get Right's the only player that is besting him in terms of ADR at 114. They've both had their moments in the spotlight. And they are poised, ready to strike onto the A side of the map. The ball under control from Lekro, who will be the last player in, looking to use his smoke and flashbang. Teeing them up right now. And it looks like it's going to be a wraparound. Meanwhile, Rez is in banana, so this would suggest it could be a B split. Kaze, that smoke's actually not going to bother him too much, but he does get a bit of damage done. Can't kill anybody on the approach, though. So now the Ninjas in prime position to get on this B side. It's all going to be down to Advent, all going to be down to Allman. Rez has been plucked out, so now it's going to be very one-dimensional. They can't afford to wrap around with Rez any longer, and Advent is doing a phenomenal job holding the line against Get Right. This round is starting to get out of control for NiP. This is backfired significantly. Dennis is going to get caught as he tries to pull back onto the A side of the map. Frost has landed himself one headshot. It's a chaotic round. All kinds of action happening across the board. But ViCi do have the player advantage. Make it 2, and ZoKing goes in for the final frags. Just consistent bloodshed being spilled, but it's going to be ViCi that hold on.
ViCi was playing so passive in both of those bomb sites. NIP could never close the gap. Obviously, it feels like an advantage, but a pretty smart decision from this aggression right here to take out Rez first. That eliminates one side of this attack, and when you have 2 USPs and then the rotators also focusing on CT spawn, a smoke blocking them off as well, they got to come through that to fight. That hit from NIP just got so disjointed. Both pistol rounds going in the favor of ViCi in this game, which is a phenomenal recipe to take us to a third map.
Mirage, of course, the third map if we need it. Some damage done to Lekro early doors. Pretty passive setup from the Ninjas in pajamas in case ViCi went for an aggressive play. This is something we did see them do when we last casted them. They were very aggressive pushing down mid. It's no respect style of play. So perhaps the Ninjas have done their homework. In the meanwhile though, in terms of round 17, it looks like it's only going to go one way.
We've thought that before with NIP. They've done some crazy things on rounds like this. Kaze's just going to go peek. He's going to get... Oh, this is... Oh! Oh, dear.
All the emotions in 1 second.
Oh.
From excitement to just pure disappointment.
Oh, no, not like this.
What a turnaround this would be. The downside is that NiP don't really have anything to subside these weapons that they've picked up, but they do have the player advantage still. Orban with his Molotov. They're trying to stop the bomb from being planted default, but it's not. It's back on the site in a safe position. Lekro could get the drop onto Advent, did chunk him down for half of his health. There's now a Deagle in play for Forest, and meanwhile on the site and an MP9 sprays across, lands a headshot onto Advent, and this could be all she wrote for ViCi in the round, but it's going to be the spray holding on for Orman. He gets 2 with a kit. He's going to get the defuse, but ViCi are so fortunate to get away with that.
Yeah, they really are. I don't know how that actually really happened. That should have been 3 for Kaze, you'd imagine. He thought he got that first kill immediately with a headshot, but it's not to be. So they survive a close one, but I mean, that's actually a pretty big disaster, all things considered. That takes so much money away. Great shots from Get right there, that P250. That range, even had a great chance with an M4 in the one-on-one. So 9-8, ViCi have a very narrow lead, but they're hurting. SMGs, no money behind this buy. They do have an op on Kaze. Full AKs, full utility for the Ninjas. And much different, they don't spend a whole lot of utility trying to challenge any kind of banana play from ViCi. They stay out of it to start. Might be a delayed take once the smoke clears. Hall's stack for ViCi, 2 players on the stairs.
Ooh, that nade.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And Molotovs, they're going to be forced out of position anyway. They don't get anything for that stack apart from damage. Not a fair trade.
Importantly as well, they're forced to take fights at range as they sneak back to the pit. And against those AK-47s, could be deadly. Next step for NIP, you can see systematically taking map control. First in Halls. Oh! Kaze catches Forrest in a jump.
Oh no, are they over-rotating? No, they're sending another player over there. This is just going to leave Zoking with an MP9 and Freeman. Kaze needs to get back across here. The bomb is dropped in mid. Bit of a saving grace, so they're not going to get punished for that rotation. Now Rare's going to pick it up and start to move towards A. They're running out of time. They have to hit the A site, and it has to be now. There's still some smokes and flashbangs. If NiP decide to use them, Kaze is going to go for another peek. Will the timing be on his side? Yes, it will. He's having a phenomenal round here. But again, Rez and Dennis are going to try their best to get back into this one. It's going to be a bomb plant for Rez. And now it's all about the retake. He's got enough time. Neither of the ViCi players can stop him. There is a smoke enough to choke on, intoxicating. He has to move out, and that's going to be to Omen's benefit and ViCi's, as they will get a 10-8 lead.
I don't think that smoke went exactly where he wanted it. He had to come out of the smoke, had no vision, no idea where people were coming from once he got the bomb down. That double pit setup is exactly what wanted for ViCi. That's a tough setup to break, and it just cost too many lives. Obviously, Kaze as well, getting that pick onto Lekro, who's throwing flashbangs for his teammates from mid. Not bad at all. We know he doesn't, as an operator, he doesn't like to sit back. When he sees that there's going to be attack, that's a disgusting shot, first of all. But when he sees and executes coming, he wants to take a more aggressive angle.
It's especially disgusting because it's pure reaction speed. There was nothing to precede that peak. Just a full-on flick. Didn't get any information. This round, though, Kaze is going to be punished for his aggression, down to 50.
If NIP, they've done a great job of damaging ViCi and getting kills. They haven't been able to just turn around yet. It's 3-0 in this half for ViCi. You can see they don't have a lot of money. Advent is clean out. He's broke. Freeman is very low. Kaze very low. NIP need to just win one to have some kind of an economic advantage in this game. That's when the T side gets a bit easier. You can open up the playbook. There's not as many Molotovs and smokes in the early stages that are going to slow you down and block you off. No flashbangs for NiP. 2 smokes left. Thankfully, Kaze with the AWP is over towards the B bomb site, so they don't have to worry about a heads-up fight against an op.
Meanwhile, ViCi have a healthy dose of nades. Plenty of them across the board. Flashbangs, a Molotov, couple of smokes. So entry's going to need to be the order of the day. Omen has been demolished down to 13. Lucky not to be neutralized. 30 seconds left. Rez still in banana. They're going to send 2 players back and 2 players through Arch. That kill onto Omen is massively important for Ninjas in Pajamas. And now again, it rests on Advent, and this time Kaze, he spots the first player. Going to have a shot through the smoke following the trace of fire. And here comes the rotation round the back. Kaze is holding on for dear life. And crazy Kaze is creating carnage wherever he moves. No one is left standing for Ninjas in Pajamas, and ViCi are going to win another one. This CT side is looking brutal for NiP.
Yeah, that is so nice from Kaze. Obviously, the shots are a thing of beauty. That's twice now. That round and the pistol round that NIP have run a B split. And look at that deep smoke that ViCi is throwing. They had one left over so late, and it's making it very, very difficult for NIP when they run that tactic to actually get clean shots into the site. Even if it wasn't there, the op would still, you'd imagine, reign supreme. Kaze had some very, very nice shots, and NIP looks stumped on this T side. This looks like it's just... The roles have been reversed from Train, where NiP is getting blanked on their offense. ViCi on Train, 0 rounds on their T side. NIP on Inferno, so far, 0 rounds, and it's an 11-8 lead for ViCi.
NiP are trying different things. They're trying to be adaptive, but ViCi are just there every step of the way. And of course, it's going to help when your Opera is teeing off with 108 ADR and doesn't seem to be missing a shot.
Yeah, he's a big part of the reason why ViCi is in this lead and is holding on. There have been some harrowing rounds where ViCi was so close to getting reset. Now, these CZs, this could be so dangerous. No one in pit for ViCi. 2 players in the site, 1 on small pit. If they make a single mistake, they're in trouble. Smoke hasn't plumed yet to block smoke, or to block small pit. There's Freeman, bombs down. He's continuing the damage, but the stack gets busted quickly. And Kaze, he's gonna get aggressive. Is he a madman? Look at this play. He's the only defender here. They do spot him. Now he's gotta be forced away, but it's too late.
Maybe confidence turning into hubris. And he is going to be punished in the worst possible way with a potential round loss. So Ninjas on one of their worst buys of the half should be successful. Advent is still alive. But in terms of their finances, I mean, surely in a 1v3 you save. He's got $1,000 left. His teammates really need him to drop a weapon if they're going to have a buy in this next one. And that's still up in the air, actually. They may not go for it.
Yeah, now the half begins. This is where it really starts. ViCi's going to be hurting for money. Kaze, you have to think if he has the cash, he's going to get that AWP. I think he'll be just shy though. Be really interesting the decision making of ViCi in this next round. They have 3 timeouts they can use if they want to talk things over. NIP still has 4, and yeah, Kaze just $50 off that AWP. So close yet so far, Vince.
And that's a culmination of NIP consistently whittling away weapons here and there over the previous rounds. Yes, they haven't won before in 4 rounds, but they've been doing significant damage. Got a couple of close calls, a couple of close clutches.
I think... I don't know what ViCi's going to do here. I would imagine that they would maybe a half buy. They don't have really a whole lot they can get. This is a timeout called by NIP. They know the importance of stringing 2 together in this scenario. So Kaze is going to get a shotgun. Advent has the AUG he saved, and it's pistols for the other 3. They are getting some utility to play with to try and slow things down, try and deal some utility damage. A couple nades in there. This would be absolutely brilliant if ViCi could pull this off, but I think this is the smart call to make. You're on the easier side. You have the advantage on the CT side of Inferno. Don't risk everything in a half buy or in a buy where you can't have the nades, while NIP are still 2 rounds behind.
I think it also shows a bit of confidence too, that they know, sure, things aren't going great right now, but up until this point, they've been pretty dominant. So even if they lose this round, they can bounce back. It doesn't feel like desperation.
No, yeah, confidence is a great word. Forest taking banana control. We haven't seen NIP really attack that B bomb site outside of the splits. Haven't really seen them send a whole mass of players up banana quite yet for the typical executes we see. All quiet on the map.
The silence almost deafening on Inferno, but now some smokes are going to be traded between the 2 teams, blocking off mid. 3 smokes currently there, so NIP have used 2 and not really made any inroads, but they have drawn out what little utility ViCi have. Oh, if Get Right had landed that second shot, I would have lost my mind.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good play. I mean, obviously it's great to get that 1 kill in towards lane, but the fact that you fall immediately afterwards, you now give it an AK-47 over to Zoking, who's starting to cheat towards the B bomb site. He's reading what's coming. If they lose too many players on this, great counter flash. That's a thing of beauty. There's no smoke for CT spawn. Now they throw one late. Zoking is on the way over, but here's the AUG underneath the smoke. NIP can't see, but Advent can see just fine. It's Forrest in a 1-on-3. He better pull up a miracle. There's no time to play around, and Advent is stalling him even further. Forrest is surely going to go down. He can't get the plant, and he's out of bullets now. It's all over, and Forrest must survive.
Freeman on the hunt. Does get the kill to add salt in the wounds, and NIP lose to a Mag 7 and an AUG. Oh dear.
That one hurts. Forrest still has money to buy, but that is a great turnaround. I cannot believe ViCi have pulled that off. That smoke at the front of the bomb site above those stairs just turned into the dagger for NIP. This all can see underneath it. When they turn, you can tell they just have no idea where they're getting shot at. He can just see the ankles.
And when you've got a fully automatic gun with a scope and very low recoil, that's all you need. And just spam straight through the smoke. Only 15 seconds when that play started too. Forrest, to make matters worse in round 22, After Nip do muster a buy, he's been tagged down to 40 almost instantly. And he's been their main man, 25 and 13.
This map will get exponentially more difficult for the Swedes if they lose this round. They are out of money.
And their one round came off the back of a straight-up pistol rush. That is going to be a concern. ViCi in the meanwhile have their star player, Kaze. Very impressive in this map.
He's been spectacular. They're close up, close to the smoke. Dennis wants to surprise him and come through it. Smoke gonna block him off, and he finds one. He saw a glimpse of force, a shadow perhaps, and that was a great peek in lane. Zoking underneath porch. He's gonna come back to help his teammate. And actually, he's gonna come help Small Pit, but Rez backstabs him. Dennis with one as well. Freeman, they know his location in pit. This is going to be tough, though. 2 players and Arches. Good kill from Dennis coming through the smoke. That's the bomb as well. 20 seconds on the clock. Dennis reloading is dropped. Now Get Right. It's all on him, and he's got to hustle.
He can't afford to mess about. He's just got to get straight in there. The Molotov is down. Get Right does have a smoke, but he's actually going to use that just to pick the bomb up. 8 seconds left. I don't think he realizes it. He's not going to have enough time.
I don't think there was much. Yeah, I mean, maybe didn't realize it quite at the moment. He would have had to have just picked up the bomb and run back. NIP, that's crushing. 13-9, a 4-round lead for ViCi, and that says it all.
Yeah, that expression really does tell you the anguish that Nip are facing right now. It's going to be on to a very poor force buy. And a 4-round deficit. ViCi eyeing up Mirage. Here comes a tactical timeout. It's from ViCi, not Nip.
I don't mind that, because remember, I mean, despite the fact that NIP lost that, throughout this entire terrorist half, NIP's been so close to resetting them a number of times, and they still have it here. 4 kills in a losing effort. They've taken the AWP away from Kaze. They don't have to worry about that in this round. This is a little bit of a lifeline extended to Nip if they can just close this round, but they're going to have to do it with pretty diminished weaponry. UMP on Dennis and Rez. Pistols on Forrest and Lekro, but they know this is their best opportunity. Even with a weaker buy, the best chance they have is resetting ViCi, so they have to take this risk.
Also deciding not really to flirt with the idea of banana. Hasn't really been working out for Nip. Gonna make a move into apps. No one home for ViCi. They're triple stacking quad side. They actually have a player on top and below quad.
Go back to what worked before, Vince. Here we go. Kaze is going to get the first with the AUG, and the second holds down the trigger. Great defense from ViCi.
Who else but Kaze?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's been the point man, hasn't he, on this defense? Usually with the AWP, this time with the AUG. That might be the end of NIP and Inferno. I think we might be going to Mirage, Vince.
It's certainly looking likely, Moses, because, as you say, Nip don't have any kind of economy. They've only won 1 round on this T side. It was with pistols. Every rifle round has gone against them.
Pretty astounding. A couple very close calls that very easily could have turned in the favor of the Ninjas. Just not to be so far. Half buy in this round. That's a good start from Lekro. That's a way to take Kaze out of the fight. Freeman's making sure they can't pick up the AWP. But okay. An element of danger is introduced.
And again, with pistols. There's something about Nip and pistols. Maybe that's where the magic stems from. In the meanwhile, Zoking. Ooh, I thought he was going to get peeked for a second there as he pulled his grenade out. Ooh. Beautiful reaction speed just to chop off the head of Forrest. Triple spray. Going to make amends for Kaze's death early on. And now, Get Right and Lekro have done a lot of damage to Orman. That's going to make him think twice about re-peeking.
He's got the AWP. He can just hold his angle. Get Right's probably a little frustrated he didn't get that kill. It was an immediate dink, but couldn't find the follow-up shot. Freeman's at least pulled away from the bomb site, so lane for the moment is susceptible.
Lekro's been able to pick up an M4 alongside his Kevlar, and he is fully healthy. There's a bit of time to play with. So Advent needs to stay on B site. Now the Molotov is going to land in pit. It draws one player out. Lekro is able to get the Avenger frag. Quickly switches across to the low Omen. And what an important round this is. Advent making a move through arches. Only has a UMP. But there is no head armor for Lekro. One bullet could seal it up. And meanwhile, Lekro, surgical precision, but he decides against it. He's not sure as to where Advent is coming from. And this indecision, this lack of information could cost him dearly, but Lekro is going to get the clutch with a 4K, and the ninjas in pajamas aren't done yet.
Lekro with 4 kills, the opening on Akaze, cannot understate how important that performance is in that individual round for him, but shout out to Get Right, 2 assists on the kills that allow him to get into the bomb site and plant safely. 2 dinks onto those players that Lekro's able to clean up. 10-14. Again, another chance for NIP right here. This is the one Get Right gets that entry dink, and he had that one earlier on Rap side. Lekro finds the timing, thought he was going to be wrapping around and then commits to a fight. Another chance for NIP, and look at the money once again for ViCi. If NIP, they've just struggled so much to win these rounds. If they can just do it once.
And again, Forrest gets wrecked early on in the round, this time down to 23.
Yeah, he's not having a good time, is he?
It feels like he hasn't had a kill in a good 4 or 5 rounds at this stage.
Yeah, he seems to have gotten stuck on 25. Still leading the server by 4, 21 on Kaze, 20 on Get Right.
Well, it seems their attention is going to be turned to the B side this time around, looking to commence a set play, but Advent is waiting for the pop flash. Oh, wait, that's actually a smoke, not a flash.
Just delaying, and I actually kind of like this call from NIP. They are grouped up a little bit early before this hit. They have to wait for that smoke, but like I said earlier, we've only seen B splits attempted by NIP. They haven't tried to actually attack this bomb site with a set piece. We're going to get one here. Smokes, Molotov starting to rain over the walls. Another smoke is dropped down, but Alman only has a pistol. He's completely blind. There's the opening kill. Rez, not able to follow it up. Great trade from Get Right. And NIP have cracked open the site.
They have, and ViCi can't afford to go for it, so they're going to save. I think maybe one of the reasons why NIP haven't gone too hard on this is because when ViCi played Cloud9 on Inferno, they absolutely manhandled them on B side. It was Orman and Advent with Orcs. They were destroying them every single time. So maybe a bit of respect, but now NIP realize they've got to change things up.
Well, and also, I mean, probably just sick and tired of getting picked off by Kaze.
Sure, that's definitely part of it.
Like,
too.
can we just do a strategy where there's not an op facing off against us? That'd be great.
I wonder if Kaze, the next time he does get an op, if he will, well, he's gonna keep the op. If he does hold on to it, which looks likely, if he tries to peek Banana next round, I wonder if he's gonna have some B presence and try and deal with that.
Would be interesting. Could change the nature of the round. 11th for NIP as they are attempting one last time for a comeback. 3 weapons saved. No rifles can be passed over to Alman and Advent. Get Right, known as a lurker, you could see there. Great job in the opening duels in this game so far. 6 for 7.
I think that also shows how poor some of the entry fragging has been from NIP, that it's typically been the lurker of Get Right that's been getting the kills from the side first off. So it hasn't really been working out for them. This time you can see ViCi. They are not interested in any shenanigans. Triple Molotov.
It's a pit of fire, but look at the read by NIP. They've called a perfect counter. This is a great call from Lekro. Zoking, he's up, he's committed, and he's down. Down for the fight. Does NIP press the issue is the question. One defender here. It's Freeman in lane. They cannot let him get away. They had the opportunity. Now he's spun. He's turned, and it's Rez to go for an attempt. Here come the UMPs, though. They're close on their heels. 1 kill for Advent, and he's going to press the issue. Wisely backs off. It's a 3-on-3.
Waiting for his teammates to get in position, didn't want to run out, get killed, and then no likelihood would be a retake and a 2-on-3 stacked against ViCi. Forrest is also waiting around the side. Vintage Forrest with a double, and that should be the round sealed up as a result. Kaze with an AWP can do nothing but walk away. And we were asking the question, will Kaze go B? He did, and Nip called their bluff.
That was perfect play calling from Lekro. Finally, they had success at the B bomb site, and ViCi said, well, they struggled so much. Likely they attacked the same bomb site they just won at. And that's exactly what we were talking about in the first half that we wanted to see ViCi do. That was a 3-man stack at the B bomb site early on to get the utility down, to make sure they're safe and would have banana control. And NIP found a great timing coming up mid.
So the plot thickens. ViCi still have 2 timeouts available. Do they dip in? Do they call one yet? Do they wait for the next round?
I would imagine they'd wait for the next round when they're going to have money to buy. All they have is the AWP on Kaze. Good kill from Rez. These 2 defenders at the A bomb site not synced up, not working together, and that was the final nail in the coffin, the double from Forrest. So an AWP and pistols, a P250 and a Deagle. 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, and Kaze is going to get aggressive, wants to try and find that opening pick down mid. It's not to be. But ViCi's stacking the A bomb site. And this is, I like this call. Get players close to the AWP that you have so you can try and bring that into the next round. If they go B, you don't have to go for it. You just protect the AWP. You make sure NIP doesn't hunt them down.
Remember, in a similar buy to this, I believe it was an Organomag 7, Nip slipped and slided out of the round. And there's King, just aggression. Ruthless aggression up in the face. Get right's been tagged and fragged by Orman. Not again, Nip. Surely not.
They have to go for this. They have to hit this bomb site quickly. It's Freeman. And it's Advent. They only have pistols. One's a Deagle, one's a USP. Good adjustment from Rez. He got tagged up a little bit, but now the Deagle right behind Coffins. He could see through that smoke. Good spam from Rez. A 2-on-3. And I'm wondering if ViCi's going to commit to this. These weapons could be valuable for the next round. They're at least going to see if they can find a kill.
If they don't get a kill soon, I think they're going to back away. But Kaze's posted up in a pretty aggressive position here. He may not have the opportunity to escape. And Lekro will punish him, and that's an important gun that's taken off the table. Owen actually decides to go in for this. Dude, get the hell out of there. What are you doing?
Back away slowly. It's not the biggest loss in the world at AWP. The 4-round losing bonus they're going to have, they'll be able to pick up another AWP if they want that. Might hurt the utility and the armor they can bring forward, but they'll still have an AWP. NIP somehow making this work, bringing out the magic at the last moment. They've won the last 4 rounds. 1 round away from tying things up. A narrow lead, 14-13. ViCi fighting for their lives at IEM Katowice. NIP fighting to get legend status, or excuse me, to get to the new legend stage.
So much on the line. Heartbreak after heartbreak for Nip in recent majors. This would be somewhat redemption.
What a fitting way to be fighting if you're a Nip as well. Forrest and Get Right leading the way for you.
But can they keep it going? Because ViCi still have the advantage. It is slim. A small margin, a slither. But they are closer to the finish line here on Inferno. Banana well and truly boiled by Molotovs. No one is able to make a move through there just yet with smokes in the eyes of Nip. But ViCi pretty passive. They're not peeking it. And Kaze's not over on that side of the map just yet.
Very slow paced in this round. NIP being careful not to lose anything early on. Kaze on Rap side, just in arches. That smoke is going to give him a little bit of safety to move up and grab a new angle. NIP's got to be careful. Running out of utility slowly. 3 smokes. 4 flashbangs, using a couple here. Oh, he comes through it. It's an easy kill onto Forrest. That's a big piece of the NIP puzzle, but it's traded right back. King gets aggressive, and that smoke comes up just in time. Get Right might have had the angle. There's the AWP. Get Right's the one leading the way. The rest of his team isn't in position. They now know one's on balcony. 20 seconds. They cannot turn back.
Kaze is close range. The flick across the Dennis is going to be good. And now 15 seconds remain. Rez is being tagged up from balcony. Lacro goes in for one, but there is Kaze with another 3K. 2 map points for ViCi.
That one's tough. That hit got so disjointed, that opening pick from Kaze. Get Right coming through the smoke first to lead the way on that attack. No one to distract the balcony player, and it's an easy kill as Get Right comes through. 15-13. NIP need to win 2 in a row to force overtime. ViCi on the verge of taking us to a third map. It would be Mirage if they can get there. A 4-round run for NIP just gets stopped cold.
And to put it in context, if it does go to overtime, this is where ViCi lost to Vitality, and I think it was triple overtime, 25-22 they lost. And we had the pleasure of casting that game, Moses.
As I say, I vaguely remember going to triple overtime.
That was ViCi. So we know they've got a bit of experience. They did lose that time around, but of course, NIP have got to get to overtime first, which is a lot easier said than done, especially how ViCi are playing.
Bomb is still down at the base of the mid-ramp, so NIP's not going to commit anything off of this. They just want to get control of top banana. Apply a little bit of pressure. Advent and Alman both have smokes. Advent still has a Molotov. NIP haven't been able to force that away. If they get lured into a B hit here, which it looks like, there's so many resources for ViCi to stop this. They're gonna go right through that before the Molotov can hit the ground. Advent, he only gets one. Alman's in trouble. Oh, that's a great adjustment. Now he's got to back away, but he can't do it in time.
Yeah, he was stuck. I think he realized it's why he stood his ground, see if he could take another player with him. It will be a 3-on-3 retake, but there is a Molotov in the hands of Freeman. All 3 of NIP players are injured at this stage, hemorrhaging blood. And ViCi can sense it.
There's a Molotov on Get Right.
Also a flashbang for Rez. Molotov's been tossed out. It actually gets extinguished in the CT smoke. That could have been used on the coffin side where Rez is residing, and he was spoiled for choice. 2 plays there. Get Right partially flashed up, still gets a kill, and in amongst it, Dennis has also gone down. ViCi are going to secure map 2. We're heading to Mirage.
That is a stellar response from ViCi gaming on Inferno. They picked it for a reason. A lockdown defense, a 7-1 run to start this second half. And even a valiant comeback from NIP gets stopped short. Beautiful performance from Kaze in this map. Zoking and Freeman joined him up there with 20 kills each. We're going to a Mirage. Stay tuned.